Hi there, everyone, and welcome to Las Ventanas Live. Very happy to have Mr. Wayne Warbaugh back here with us. It's been quite some time. I'm very happy to have him. He'll be sharing some tips for all of us here in just a bit. First and foremost, I hope you all are having a wonderful day. We are taping on Cinco de Mayo, so you're watching this on Thursday, but hopefully you made it out to the courtyard and enjoyed the Cinco de Mayo. Cinco mariachis, the 5-piece mariachis, and margaritas, and the Latin meal that you had on Cinco de Mayo. As you're watching the show on Thursday, it is National Day of Prayer. We will be having a prayer shared. Doug is going to share a scripted prayer that we have at 9:30 in the courtyard, and this is open to residents and team members alike that would like to join. So just head out to the courtyard. You don't need to sign up. Just join us out in the courtyard for a short prayer for everybody. Also want to remind everyone, we do have a vendor coming in today from 10 to 2. Her name is Claudia. She'll be sharing a variety of her jewelry collection that she has. So please stop by. That will be held right out across from the concierge desk in the living room area from 10 to 2. A couple things going on Friday I want to remind you of is we have our last storytelling session by Dr. Bogat. That will be at 10 a.m. in the Tuscany room. There is the link provided on the flyers and the elevators. If you would like to join in from your apartment home, the link is on there. There's also a number you can call to register if you're interested. Otherwise, please stop on by at 10 a.m. It's only an hour for the last storytelling session. And I know a lot of you already know about this, and there's still space. That's why I want to remind you, our ladies' tea, we're bringing it back just in time before Mother's Day. It's been, over a year for sure. It's probably been since February since we did our last tea of 2020. So we want to make this special. If you haven't signed up and you're interested, please sign up on Cubigo. That will be on Friday the 7th at noon. And we will have a violinist to accompany the tea. And we'll have some little finger sandwiches, small desserts, tea, and just a good time to get everyone together. So if you're interested, it is limited to about 40 residents. And I believe when I last looked at it, we're at about 25, 26. So there's still some space if you want to sign up, but you got to sign up quick. So that's in a nutshell. That's what we have going on these next couple of days. And remember, if you're interested in the upcoming art show, the community art show will be held on Wednesday, May 26th, and that will be from 10 to 2 in the Tuscany room. And depending on how many residents and team members sign up, we might have to spread it out like we've done in the past for the holiday boutique. But it all depends on how many sign up. So if you're an artist, do you have any hand work, paintings or whatnot that you would like to show off that day, we would love to have you join us. There's a sign-up sheet at the front desk. Just sign up, or you can feel free to call myself or Brittany as well, and we'll get you on that list. So I'm going to keep reminding you about that art show because I want you to sign up. So just wanted to throw it out there. But that's all I have for all of you today. I'm going to turn it over to Wayne, Mr. Warbaugh, and he's going to share a little bit about delegation and some tips for us today.
Well, hi, everybody. I'm back after a little bit of a hiatus, and I thought the first subject I'd talk about is delegation. And there's very simply 4 steps of delegation. Choose the task, choose the person, and then communicate and follow up. Now, what I'm going to be doing over the next couple of weeks, today I'm going to talk about choosing the task and the person. Next week, I'm going to talk about communicate. And the third week, I'll talk about the follow up. And the reason I chose to talk about delegation is with us opening up. When I say us, I'm talking about the country, the state, but here also at Los Ventanas, we have a lot of people now getting back involved in committees and other teams, et cetera. And when you get involved in a team or a committee, you start doing things. And when you do things, you put together action plans to accomplish whatever those things are you want to do. Well, when you have an action plan put together, then you need to delegate, unless you want to do the whole thing yourself. But a lot of times an action plan is pretty big and you need other people to help you. So if you know how to delegate, you can get those action plans achieved a whole bunch easier and more successfully. I've, let's say over the years, I've seen a lot of people do delegation, and unfortunately, a lot of them don't do it very well, so they don't get the results they'd like to. So let's start off and talk about choosing the task. Well, once you put together an action plan, you have a list of items you want to do. And so you look at those items and you choose the ones that you like to delegate to other people. A lot of times, if you're leading the task, you may choose, or the activity, you may choose to do one, two, or several of the items. A lot of times, though, you will delegate many of the items to other people. So decide what you want to do or what you want to have other people do. Now, when I was teaching this class at Hamburger University, setting goals, objectives, and the action plans, I would always ask the students, what as a manager can you not delegate? Because my targeted audience was a first assistant about to become a store manager. And I get a lot of hands and they'd give me all sorts of things that you couldn't delegate. And I keep saying to them, well, couldn't you teach a first assistant? They go, yeah. Couldn't you teach a first assistant? Yeah. And by the time it came down, there were only two things that you couldn't delegate. And if you're a store manager, you can't delegate the performance review of the first assistant. You are responsible for the first assistant and you have to write their performance review. The other thing is if your boss comes to you, if you're the store manager and says, I want you personally to do this, then it's something you have to do. For example, if they want you to go down to the high school and talk to the principal about getting some employees to work for you, or maybe things you can do to help the school, the boss wants you to do it, not to delegate somebody else. Well, once you've chosen the task you want to develop, to delegate, easy for me to say. I used to get paid for doing this. Anyhow, once you decide what you want to delegate, now you need to choose the person. And when you choose a person, what you want to do is choose somebody that actually either wants to do the task or is willing to do the task. If you get somebody that really doesn't want to do the task, then you're likely not going to get a very successful part of that task done. If you are doing a task that's kind of a one and done type of thing, for example, the putting green, when they got the money together and chose the vendors and did all those things, that was one and done. Once the putting green's done, it's done. But there's a lot of activities that we do here that happen once a year or maybe several times a year. For example, I know the Interior Committee puts out decorations at Christmas, at Halloween, and several other holidays. So if you have a recurring activity, you probably want to train more people than just having a person. If it's a one and done thing, probably the best thing to do is choose the person that has the best skills or really wants to do the task and that you can really teach easily, get that person involved, and the task is over. If you have a recurring event, then you want to get somebody that really wants to do the task, but have them train other people. Always have at least one backup, and sometimes it's better to have 2 or 3 backups. And I'll share something that happened to me when I was a second assistant for McDonald's. I was working the night shift from 4 to 12, and supper went fine. And then we get to around 8 o'clock, and most of the crew's gone, and I only have 4 people for the rest of the night. And I say to them, okay, who can work the grill? And they were all window people. So I got to do a crash course in teaching people how to do the grill because I had other activities I had to do for the night. I couldn't do the grill all by myself for the night. I mean, I could work the grill all by myself for the night, but I had too many other duties to do. So it's always good to do what in McDonald's we call cross training. The more people that you have that can do the different tasks in your particular action plan, the better off you are. So that covers the choosing the task and choosing the person. And what I was doing when I was doing these sessions a couple months ago, leaving you with some food for thought. And this comment comes, or quote comes from Thomas Edison. He says, if you tell me you can or you can't, you're right. And Lou Tice added just a little bit to it. He's a guy that teaches a class called Investment in Excellence. He said, if you tell me you can or you can, you're right, and I won't argue with you. So that's something to keep in mind. If people tell you they can do it, most likely they will. If they tell you they can't, they probably won't. And with that, I'll turn it back to one of the most can-do people I've ever met, and that's Sandy.
Well, thank you so much for that, Wayne. And boy, it's nice to have you back on the show with me. So hoping we have Wayne back on Thursdays moving forward. Hoping that will happen. So he has a lot of great topics that we can all learn for. And I know I always pick up some great advice from him every session. So thank you for that. And I think that's all we have for all of you today. Again, enjoy the rest of your day. And I don't know about Wayne, but I will see you back tomorrow. So bye, everyone, for now. Bye-bye.